The life of a honeybee. How it survives, collects nectar, and cares for the queen. The honeybee, often regarded as one of nature's most industrious and fascinating creatures, plays a crucial role in our ecosystem. These small but remarkable insects are essential pollinators for many of the crops we rely on for food. However, beyond their agricultural importance, honeybees also lead incredibly complex and organized lives within their colonies. Each bee has a role to play, and their survival depends on a highly structured social system. In this essay, we will explore how honeybees survive, how they collect nectar from flowers to make honey, and how they take care of their queen, the heart of the hive. Structure of a honeybee colony. A honeybee colony is a sophisticated social structure made up of three main types of bees: the queen, the workers, and the drones. Each type of bee has specific duties and responsibilities. The queen bee. There is only one queen in a colony. Her primary role is to lay eggs, up to 2,000 per day during peak seasons. She is also the only sexually mature female in the hive, and she produces pheromones that regulate the behavior of the entire colony. Worker bees. These are infertile females who perform nearly all the tasks in the hive. They care for the young, clean the hive, build the honeycomb, collect nectar and pollen, and guard the hive against intruders. Drones. Male bees whose only job is to mate with a virgin queen. After mating, they die shortly afterward. They do not have stingers and do not collect nectar or pollen. The life cycle of a honeybee. Honeybees go through a complete metamorphosis with 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Egg stage. The queen lays tiny eggs in the honeycomb. These eggs hatch in about 3 days. 2. Larva stage. Nurse bees feed the larvae royal jelly for the first 3 days and then switch to a mixture of pollen and nectar called bee bread for worker and drone larvae. Queen larvae continue to receive royal jelly throughout their development. 3. Pupa stage. The larva spins a cocoon and its body undergoes transformation into an adult bee. 4. Adult stage. After about 21 days, for workers, the bee emerges from its cell and begins its duties in the hive. Survival tactics of honeybees. Honeybees have evolved many strategies to survive in the wild and in changing environmental conditions. Thermal regulation. Bees keep the temperature inside the hive around 35 degrees, 95 degrees, which is necessary for brood development. They fan their wings to cool the hive or cluster together to generate warmth in colder seasons. 2. Communication. Bees use the waggle dance to communicate the location of flowers, water sources, or potential new hive locations. This dance is performed by worker bees and is one of the most extraordinary behaviors in the insect world. 3. Defensive behavior. Bees protect their hive aggressively. Worker bees have stingers and will defend the hive by stinging intruders. Although a bee dies after stinging a mammal, it will still do so to protect the colony. 4. Resource storage. Bees store honey and pollen to survive during times when food is scarce, especially in winter. Honey provides carbohydrates while pollen supplies protein and other nutrients. How honeybees collect nectar. One of the most crucial and fascinating tasks of a worker bee is foraging for nectar. Finding flowers. Forager bees leave the hive and search for flowers rich in nectar. They rely on their sense of smell and sight to identify suitable plants. Bees are particularly attracted to blue and violet flowers. 2. Collecting nectar. Once they find a flower, bees use their long tube-like tongue, proboscis, to suck up nectar, which is stored in a special stomach called the honey stomach, or crop. This organ is separate from their digestive stomach. 3. Pollination. As bees move from flower to flower, they unintentionally transfer pollen from one blossom to another, allowing plants to reproduce. This mutualistic relationship benefits both the bee and the plant. 4. Returning to the hive. When the forager bee returns to the hive, it regurgitates the nectar into the mouths of house bees. These bees then process the nectar by repeatedly passing it from one bee to another, reducing its water content. 5. Honey production. Finally, the nectar is deposited into the honeycomb cells, and bees fan it with their wings to evaporate remaining moisture. Once the nectar thickens into honey, the bees seal the cell with wax. How honeybees care for the queen. The queen bee is central to the hive's survival and reproduction. Worker bees provide constant care to ensure her well-being. Feeding the queen. The queen is fed by special worker bees called nurse bees. She is given a continuous supply of royal jelly, a nutritious secretion that boosts her fertility and longevity. 2. Grooming and cleaning. Worker bees, also